All right, we are live, folks. We are streaming on YouTube tonight here on the red carpet at the Folly Theater. This is a big night. This is a huge night for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, and I am so excited because the theme is Glamour of Old Hollywood. So we're talking glitz, we're talking glam. We are, turning back the clock for one fabulous evening. Now, to start off our interviews of the red carpet tonight, we have the beautiful Alyssa Bell Jackson. She is the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra Executive Director. And we also have the Fountain City String Quartet, Matt, Sasha, and Carmen. Thank you all for being the first guests of the red carpet tonight. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fabulous. You are rocking the old Hollywood glam. I love it. So give us a rundown of what tonight is going to be. What is this gala for?
So this gala is for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, which is a nonprofit organization here in Kansas City. We work on educating the community and students on Kansas City jazz, and we perform at beautiful venues like the Folly Theater and the Coffin Center for Performing Arts in our signature series every season. So we're so excited to be able to raise funds for these premiere performances and for the education that we're doing.
So give us a rundown of tonight. What can people expect?
So tonight we're going to have a little hour of mingling. There's going to be some beautiful past hors d'oeuvres, red carpet interviews.
Yes.
There's going to be a silent auction.
Okay.
And then we'll transition into a live auction and Fun to Need and end with a concert.
Oh, gotta have the music. I hear we have some great performers of the night.
We do.
Now, how did you come up with the idea of this old Hollywood glam?
So Clint, our artistic director, who you'll hear from later, actually was in touch with Brenna Whitaker, who's our guest artist, amazing vocalist, and he was inspired by her to come up with this theme for a concert, actually, so the glamour of old Hollywood. And when we created the theme, we thought this would be a really great gala theme as well. So we decided to extend the concert into a concert and gala experience, and so far so good, so we're enjoying it.
This is going to be amazing. Now, what are your hopes for this evening?
Oh, my personal hopes are for everyone to leave here feeling like they had an amazing time and a time to remember, and for us to raise some funds for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra and prepare for our upcoming season.
Absolutely. Now, for the Fountain City String Quartet, you guys don't usually play with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, do you?
We do not, so it's such a pleasure to be here tonight.
What are the feelings like? Are you nervous, or what's going on in there?
Not really nervous, we're just excited. This is something we don't get to do normally. Mm-hmm. We don't play jazz, really. So
Whoa.
we're so excited for tonight.
We are honored to hearing you play jazz this evening. So how'd you come up with the music selection, or what was that collaboration like?
So we heard old Hollywood glam, and we thought what better fits that description than old Disney movie.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing A Dream is a Wish the Heart Makes.
Ooh.
And we feel like that just fits the old Hollywood vibe so much.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Now, you guys look beautiful. How did you guys decide on what to wear tonight to fit the theme?
Well, she's pregnant, so there was one choice for her, and we all kind of went with that, I think. But
I love it. You're definitely matching and in sync, and I think that is right on par with the whole theme. So you guys look fabulous. I want to say thank you so much for joining me on the red carpet this evening, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. You definitely brought the glitz and the glam and that old Hollywood look.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So I'm looking forward to our next interviewee.
Absolutely.
Are you going to help me find them?
I will help you.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I think so, yeah. All right, fantastic. I cannot wait to hear them play this evening inside the Folly Theater. Sorry about that. And I cannot wait to see everybody else's looks. I mean, everybody is pretty on par with the theme this evening, and it's just so exciting to see. They look beautiful. They look gorgeous. And who do we have here?
We're the band.
The band. Hold on.
Question to ask.
Whoa.
Ask us for our impressions of the leader.
Wait a minute.
It's always juicy, isn't it?
The band. Do you guys have a band name? I'm trying to look at my card. Where are you?
Kansas City Jazz
Just
Orchestra.
members of the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra.
Okay, let's get in here. Let's get in close. Pretend like we like each other.
We do like each other.
We do like each other. Exactly. Okay, so what are you looking forward to most this evening?
Just having a good time playing the music and working with Brenna.
Yeah.
It's been really good rehearsal, and it's really good music. So
Is this your first time working with Brenna?
actually, yes, I got to work with her earlier this week as well at the library, and we just had a good time communicating and working together. And now the show. So hey.
It's going to be amazing tonight. I cannot wait to hear her sing. Now, how did you get involved in this, in the band, like playing and becoming a musician?
My mom's a musician, so that's kind of how I got started initially. And then came to Kansas City and met a bunch of musicians, including Clint Ashlock, the director, and we've been playing music together for over 20 years now, so it's great.
Professionals.
Try to be.
Trying to be.
Yeah, the jury's still out. We'll see.
When did you fall in love with jazz?
I fell in love with jazz as a very young man. I grew up in Edmonton, Canada, and I started to play the saxophone and didn't know anything about jazz, but one of the first records I bought was a Charlie Parker record, and it took just one song for me to go, wow, that's it. So I've been dreaming about living in Kansas City my whole life.
How long have you lived here?
Now 23 years.
Wow.
And that one song is the only song he knows.
Only one song.
So what does Kansas City jazz mean to you?
Kansas City Jazz to me means, well, first of all, it's its own sound. There's no sound like it anywhere else. You can go around the world, and that sound is the distinct sound
Yeah.
that we have. I'm happy that I'm here in Kansas City.
Are you going to be playing that sound tonight for us?
You better believe it.
That's all we can do.
Okay, here's a question for you. This is a curveball. What is the best Kansas City barbecue restaurant?
Oh, you.
Didn't prepare you for that.
Yeah.
That's the
I
debate.
think there's only one answer to this. It depends on what you're eating. It depends on like what
Yeah.
mode of barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, when it's ribs, a lot of people like slaps and KCK, and I'm personally a taco guy. I like tacos, so that's my favorite.
I love tacos too.
Tacos auténticos.
We're
Oh!
having a barbecue conversation.
Not
Yeah,
Kansas
I
City,
just
it's both.
I like
Barbecues
pretty
and
much
tacos.
Gates,
Yeah.
Jack Stag, Slaps, Done Deal Barbecue.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
not
Granville,
been.
yeah,
I've
good
not
place.
been there.
That's one of our local musicians has a barbecue place.
Okay, we need to visit. If you haven't been, say that one more time. Where is it?
It is in Grandview Road on Main Street.
And what is the name of it?
Done Deal Barbecue.
Done Deal Barbecue?
DUNN, yeah.
Okay, we all need to make an appointment to go out there and try some barbecue.
All right, yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you chatting with me. I cannot wait to hear you this evening, rocking on stage with Brenna.
Okay, thank
Have a
you.
great night and keep shining.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, all right. Now, our next guest of the evening, Clint Ashlock. Now, Kansas City Jazz Orchestra Artistic Director. How are you this evening,
I'm great.
Clint?
It's a beautiful night. I'm happy to be here. Get ready to make some music for these people.
Ready to make some music for these people. Now, how were you involved with the music selections of the night?
I'm the band leader, so I work with the guest artists to make the selections and do the arrangements and just get the band ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they ready to go for
They're
tonight?
ready.
Okay. I
Always.
hope so. Now, what does this gala mean for the Kansas City jazz community?
Well, for us, starting out, it's probably the biggest night that gives us the ability to get out into the community, to bring jazz music to young people, to seasoned people alike, and just saturate the community with this music that is so important to our region's heritage. And then for the community at large, I think tonight is cool because we get to get together and try and look good and
Yeah.
hang out with each other and
Yeah.
hang out with you
Yay.
and yeah, just fun times,
What's probably the funnest part of the evening?
Oh man, well for me the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, making the music, but really just trying to bring some joy and some art and creativity to people's lives.
Has there been a sort of like memorable moment during this process of getting this evening ready to go?
Yeah, for us, it's always the rehearsals where we get together and learn the new songs that we don't know yet,
Yeah.
and meet the guest artist who's lovely, and just create together.
Sure.
Mhm.
Now, the Fountain City String Quartet, they are playing and performing tonight, and this is the first time that they've performed with you guys.
It is, yeah.
So, what was that like? How did
Oh.
that collaboration come about?
Well, we wanted some strings, and our executive director is a brilliant violist and band leader, and artist, and that's her quartet, and so it was just a natural fit to,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, how long does it take to get prepared for a big night like this?
Your whole life.
Oh, wow.
But for us, a week. We have a week to get the music together, and then as an organization, I mean, we've been working on this since the fall of
Sure.
last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about tonight, like about what we can expect?
Creativity and love and community and just trying to be expressive.
Trying to be expressive. That's what really the arts and music is about. It's
Yeah.
about freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression and just being able to share our little perspectives on the world with other people in
Yeah.
hopes that we can broaden our perspectives. And it's jazz is musical empathy. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to see the performances this evening and see your work come to life. I'll be judging you.
I accept wholeheartedly.
I hope you have a great evening. Thank you so much for chatting with us here on the red carpet. And this is, again, going to be a night of magic, glamour, and music.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank
Absolutely. All right. Is this Brenna? Oh my gosh, you guys, Kansas City, we have Brenna Whitaker. She is the featured vocalist this evening. You look fantastic.
Gown Gallery.
Gown Gallery. I know them. I've worked with them, and they are fantastic. You pulled this together. You guys pulled this together. You guys truly, hit the theme, and the theme is old Hollywood.
It is.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years, and
I lived there for about 11, 12 years.
you did. So it's sort of
Yes.
shock and awe. It's really not as glamorous as some of the,
Right.
But
It can
but there
be.
is an energy there that
Yes.
is like a creative, magical, eclectic. It's a kind of a melting pot of a bunch of crazy creative people.
Yes.
So that's where I like. So that kind of means I'm more comfortable.
Yes.
So I'm comfortable there because
Absolutely.
this is accepted more,
Are you comfortable here tonight and performing this evening?
I'm a little nervous just because the big band thing, the energy is so magical. It puts you in a different place.
Yeah.
When the lights and the vintage theater, and then it's like an old movie score behind you.
Yes.
So you're like literally, it's a different energy. So I'm more excited than nervous.
How did you get into jazz?
I was a theater kid in Kansas City, and I heard Peggy Lee and Dinah Washington and Nancy Wilson and Oleta Adams.
Okay.
She's right up there
She
with.
will be here tonight.
To me, Oleta Adams is right up there with Dinah Washington and Nancy Wilson. And what a treasure for Kansas City to have her here. But once I kind of shifted into the Peggy Lee land, I was hooked with jazz. Jazz kind of makes me feel like everything's going to be okay. Let's have some hors d'oeuvres and a
Some
little
champagne.
party, some champagne. Get a little, warm
Yeah.
and just relax.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah. So that's how I've been doing it.
Now, you're also a mom, correct?
I am.
How do you balance that, like your music career and being a mom?
Well, I'm lucky. I have a good partner that helps me do it, because if I didn't have the other half of it, I literally couldn't do it. So,
Right.
but it's a balancing act, and it's a multiple personality too. But
Absolutely.
you figure it out.
Yeah.
And I might be gone for 2 weeks, or like this week I'm gone a week, but then I'm home for the summer.
Right.
So it's like,
Sure.
But I highly recommend 5 days in a hotel room by yourself.
Hey, I'm for that. Even if you don't have kids.
Yeah, completely.
You got to get back to yourself. You got to, rejuvenate, self-reflect, have that
Take a
alone time.
nap.
Take a nap.
Yes,
A bubble bath, maybe.
all of it.
Now,
Better.
jazz is so legendary here in Kansas City. What does Kansas City jazz mean to you?
Well, it's basically my foundation of my soul, really. Jazz and blues here in Kansas City really, really kind of formed my whole life. So, like going to Stroud's, there was always a pianist there playing, and there was always in the schools I went to, they'd bring in trios and quartets. That was pretty huge to see that. And but Kansas City is so classic
Yes.
and so unique and such a scene, and these guys tonight are the best in the country.
So, what does. Oh, God, I just forgot my next question. I had a question in mind, and it had to do with. I had a good question. Darn it, I forgot it. No, I forgot it. But any classic songs that you can share with us that you're going to be singing tonight?
Tonight we're kind of, old Hollywood. The longer we get into the 21st century, it's old Hollywood's the 20s, 40s, 60s. For me, it's the 60s. But I'm doing some old Ruth Brown. That's my friend from 3rd grade.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
That's
Hi.
Allie. She's coming to the show too.
Fun.
We're doing an old Ruth Brown song,
Gotcha.
which is 2 Lieber and Stoller songs, which are classic torch songs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for you to stunt on stage in your beautiful dress and your amazing hairdo and makeup. Thank you so much for chatting with us on the red carpet tonight here at the Folly Theater. Again, I cannot wait to see you sing. Woo! Have a great time.
So what part of LA were you in?
I lived in the Valley, so lived in Northridge, Studio City, like Sherman Oaks area. What about you?
All over. Sherman Oaks, Pasadena, Venice Beach. So all over.
Yeah.
But so what, you're out here doing this?
Yes, I moved here in 2021. I started a lifestyle show with one of the TV stations, and then I went off on my own, and here I am on the red carpet with all of Kansas City tuning in. Nice to meet you as well. All right, who do we have next?
This is Nathan Benjamin, and I'm Margaret Fergus McGinnis.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you guys both behind and ahead?
Let's see.
We are somewhere in the vicinity of our time slot, but that doesn't mean that you are in the vicinity of our time slot.
Well, come on in.
Okay, great.
Come on in.
I love your shoes.
Thank you. So tell me, what are you hoping to get out of this evening?
Well, we are excited for a spectacular performance, and in addition to that, we know that tonight is such an important opportunity to provide funding for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra and to make sure that that really critical part of Kansas City's cultural history can maintain and continue to grow and flourish, and so children and everybody in the community can continue to learn about what makes us so special.
Absolutely.
And I'm here mostly for the music. I think it's going to be an amazing night tonight, and likewise, I'm looking forward to seeing the organization raise a lot of money this evening because it helps so many different people in the community and throughout. And the more we can do that, it makes our city a stronger city together.
I want to ask, when was it that you fell in love with jazz?
I feel like my introductions to jazz were like many children through Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And that has really stuck with me. So continuing to grow up and now have children and get to take them to the Coterie Theater in Kansas City and see some of this still the same rich jazz community playing live, and have the kids have that experience of sort of living the music in the context of like such a classic story.
Absolutely. What about you?
My original time thinking about and knowing about jazz was in high school. So I played the trumpet, and we had a jazz band that I was part of. And, you know, going through school and learning jazz and then wanting to see live performances. Where I grew up, I didn't have a lot of live performances, but over time, as I got older, I was able to go see different performances in different cities.
Yeah.
And as Margaret's talking about, you know, we see it at the Coterie Theater. Our son's playing the cello now, and he's getting engaged in music. So it's exciting to continue to let our children see and be exposed to music as early as possible, and hopefully it'll be in their life forever.
Absolutely. Okay, so the theme tonight is glamour of old Hollywood.
Yes.
What does old Hollywood look like or mean to you?
I feel like there's a glamour that is paired with ease.
Yeah.
It's not an uptight glamour.
No.
This is a glamour that you can sort of lean into, you can slow your roll, and you can sort of enjoy some combination of like serenity and hipness and classy, but not like you're not overspending.
No.
You're receiving. And I feel like that is one of the things that we're excited about tonight, and being at the Folly Theater, it has that same energy of like, you're in Kansas City's most glamorous living room, hearing Kansas City's most talented musicians with all of the coolest movers and shakers that you could encounter in an evening. So I think that that's how we will be Hollywood tonight.
And of course, a cocktail in hand.
And a cocktail in hand.
And a cocktail in hand, yes. And anytime you can really, especially this day and age, take a step out of the real world we're in. With everything that's happening, you just take a little step back in time, put yourself into space that allows you to think outside of the stresses and the pressures that we have in today's society. I feel like stepping back into classic old Hollywood and hearing some of the music we're going to hear and the performances we're going to see takes you out of the real world that we're in today, because it's kind of nice to take a little peace and quiet away from that. So, and this is one of those nights.
We are turning back the clock this evening to magic, music, glam, and great cocktails and champagne.
And our Kansas City's Hollywood celebrities are here tonight.
Yes.
I'm looking at one of them right now. Woo-hoo! Which is one of the fun things about an event like this, is that we get to see our own celebrities and the people that, you know, we fangirl over in our own lives, like right there in front of us. And it's an opportunity where we get to both receive gifts from them, but also be there to support them and show how much we care and want them to continue to be successful and thrive and feel great about being in this city and doing their art.
You're going to do my job right now. I want you to introduce our next celebrity guest.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I am so excited to introduce our incredible next celebrity guest, the one and only Calvin Arsenia.
Come on in,
and
Calvin.
There is no more sparkly entrance that a person can experience.
Calvin, get next to me.
Get over here. You look, the glitter's already around us.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But I do have to say my first Calvin Arsenia experience, and it's always an experience, was when Calvin came for an interview, and I work for Charlotte Street Foundation, and like the magic that you brought and the literal rose petals that covered the surface right in front of us for your performance and after you left. But then when we like walked around to other spaces inside of the building, it was there too. So
oh my gosh!
A magic that it precedes and it trails. And we've had so many other beautiful experiences since. So it was pretty special. So when I say celebrity and fangirl, I'm not kidding.
I love it. What do you have to say to that, Calvin?
I just love.
You didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I love how art can kind of ripple,
Mm-hmm.
and that music is very ephemeral,
Mm-hmm.
and we're painting the air with sound.
Yes. I
And
love
so
that.
ways that we can kind of let it look and feel more tangible, or kind of last a little bit longer.
Sure.
I'm always willing to invest in that.
When did you fall in love with music?
Oh gosh.
Let me guess, when you were a child.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, music is always there to accompany magical moments, in movies and television, and concerts, and I grew up in the church, and so
Yeah.
music was always a very deep way to kind of channel supernatural experiences, and so I've always kind of had that expectation
Sure.
that music mixed with vulnerability, and when we gather together, that transcendence can happen,
Absolutely.
and yeah, I've given my life to that.
Gives you goosebumps.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you. We'll see you in and around tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I don't know if we'll get to see you on the stage. Will we see you on the
Not
stage?
tonight.
Oh, don't worry. We'll find our way. We'll see you on the stage again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So nice
Thank
meeting you. Wow. How does it feel having great fans by your side?
It feels great. Yeah, it feels like I've actually been doing something.
Yes, absolutely. Feels good. You've been doing it well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now, what are you excited for this evening?
I've got a lot of friends in this building, so I'm excited to catch up with some friends. I mean, it's very rare that we all get to be together without working. So
Sure.
so it's good to see some people here that are not on the stage, and that I get to actually spend some time with my friends. So
Yeah, absolutely. Brenna Whitaker is performing. The Fountain City String Quartet, they're performing as well for the first time with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. So it's going to be a really good night of music. And we have hors d'oeuvres, there's a silent auction, so much. But besides that, we're really showing what Kansas City Jazz is all about. So to you, what does it Kansas City Jazz represent?
Kansas City Jazz, to me, it's about a vibe. It's
Yeah.
about coming together and enjoying each other's personalities and humor. I think that's something that's often missed out, I think, in the conversation around jazz music. I think that humor is a big part of it.
Sure.
About, kind of being cheeky and,
Yeah.
and being playful. And I think every kind of genre of music has a moment of that, but I think it really lights up in the jazz world, and improvisation and kind of sharing and expressing your emotions and your feelings. It also can get quite heavy and very serious and sorrowful even. But I think that one thing that is really exciting about jazz is that it's always fresh, it's always live, it's always, you never know exactly what's going to happen.
Sure.
And there's less of a barrier between the music and the musician. Sometimes in other forms of music where you're very strict to a script, it's more about the composer's vision or the conductor's vision.
Yeah.
But I think in the world of improvisation that you really get to hear the personality of the player, and that's a really beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the theme tonight, it's also really beautiful. We're doing the glamour of old Hollywood.
Yeah.
So in your mind, what do you think of when the words old Hollywood are spoken?
Confidence.
Yeah. Confidence.
Yeah, I think wearing something shiny, something that makes you feel really good, and
Absolutely.
putting on just a little bit more than you normally would.
Yes. And just, it's approved.
Yeah.
It's totally like accepted and and it's I don't know, I just feel like it's very accepting.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by the red carpet here at the Folly Theater for tonight's Glamour of Old Hollywood. I can't wait to see you inside, and hopefully soon I will get to see you perform.
Please do.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a great night. All right. Perfect timing.
For you.
Yay. Oh my gosh. The famous Olita Adams. Oh my gosh, you look incredible.
Thank you.
Wow, you truly fit the theme of the glamour of old Hollywood. How'd you pick this dress?
Well, it was the last. I picked out something out of my closet The last thing
Perfect.
yes, the
I
last
did
thing
too.
I wore on my last gig before I retired, and I said, well, I get one more chance to wear this dress,
Yeah.
and before I retire it. So
Well, I love that you wore it here tonight. It's absolutely on theme. You are a legend, and so many people have been saying good things about you, and that are excited to see you tonight. So, for you, what does it mean to be here this evening?
You know what? I'm so proud of Kansas City. When I first came here in the 70s, on Monday nights, John Lyman, jazz player, had jam sessions at Crown Center where I was working.
Wow.
And that's when I learned about the love of jazz,
Yes.
jazz music. And I am proud that in 2025, we still have it going on. And I hope that we can just build it greater and greater and
Yeah.
greater. So it's very important to me. This is called culture.
Yes.
This and cities without it
Mm-hmm.
are not very exciting.
Right.
And so
You're right.
we want to be known around the world
Absolutely.
as a jazz center.
Yes.
And I hope that we can also keep our young people excited about this as well.
Keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any maybe memorable performances of like your early days that you want to talk about, or something that you actually watched and just stood out to you?
Oh, I remember. Well, there's several things, of course. My first big concert I went to that had Quincy Jones, of course. Here we go.
Okay.
Coming this way.
We have the police on a mission. He's turning. He's not coming our way.
There you go.
Go get him.
I saw a concert with Roberta Flack and Quincy Jones at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, and it was fantastic. But I also remember way before your time, in 1976 or 77, I was working there in Detroit, and on my day off, I got a chance to see Ella Fitzgerald and Joe Pass.
My
They were
goodness.
doing songs, doing a tour actually,
Mhm.
for their duets album that they had just released, and of course she won a Grammy for that. And I have so many memories. I remember first coming here in the 70s and being literally introduced to Count Basie.
Gosh.
Harry
Jeez.
Sweets Edison, Eddie Lockjaw Davis. I mean, there is a picture of me
Oh,
with
wow.
all these people at a big jazz festival day, and it was Count Basie Day. And that was my initiation into Kansas City jazz.
That's quite the initiation.
Isn't it? It's just fantastic. And I have worked with the HR band in Frankfurt, Germany. I've worked with the Jazz Orchestra of Concertgebouw in Amsterdam. I've worked with just so many
Sure.
different, including Cleo Lane at the Hollywood Bowl, and John Hendricks, and oh,
The
my
list
goodness.
goes on.
The list goes on. I've been very, very fortunate.
Absolutely.
I've been backstage with people like Chick Corea and Joe Zawinul and all of the funny stuff that happens backstage during performances. It's just wonderful to be up close and personal with all of this. I have had David Sanborn on my record, and then I was on his, and it's just lovely.
Thank goodness I took that jazz class in college. It taught me about all the legends, and I went to college in LA, but I never thought like I'd end up in Kansas City, where it all kind of began and started, and just to hear all the names, like I know them because I decided to take that jazz education class. So
It's a good class to take.
Absolutely. I read-
Music appreciation. That's what it is.
Absolutely. And speaking of appreciation, Kansas City jazz, what does that mean to you, and how do you uniquely appreciate it?
Everybody has their own flavor. I like to think of the early days before I came here, actually, that this was the place that was a place of refuge for all of those great jazzers
Yes.
to come here in these little hot spots and hone their talents.
Yes.
And that's something important that you can put on the map. Almost every great artist who came along came through Kansas City. That makes it important. Like I
Absolutely.
said, Kansas City's culture. And I'm hoping that we can continue that and perhaps raise some more legends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, a legend right here, Alita Adams. I appreciate you stopping by and visiting us on the red carpet. You look stunning. I hope you have a wonderful night tonight. Enjoy it. Drink some champagne, listen to good music, and relax.
Thank you.
Old Hollywood style.
Old Hollywood style. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in.
Which side do you want?
I'll be right here. Are you Deborah?
I'm Ebony.
Ebony, okay. Hold
So we don't have
on. No worries, no worries.
Emily yet. So it's me and then Brian and Kim.
Ebony, Ebony, Ebony. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You are killing it on this red carpet tonight. Yes. Okay. How did you come up with this outfit? For the
Well, I actually sing with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, and this is a gown that I wore when I performed with them a couple seasons ago.
Oh,
so I was like, gotta repeat it for the gala.
Hey, you always have to repeat a good
Yes.
dress.
Oh, yes. You gotta get your money's worth.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so what are you excited most for this evening?
I've been working with Alyssa planning this event for almost a year now, so I'm excited to have a seat and listen to Brenna. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
We go way back, acquaintances before she moved, and so I'm just excited to hear her songs live. I listen to her, albums and stuff, and so I'm just excited to hear the songs. I heard her warming up, and I'm just like, oh, so excited. So,
Yay.
yeah, just relaxing and hearing the show, really. Come on.
Go, come on. Yeah.
Oh, y'all look so nice.
Thank you. Some lovely Kansas Cityans strolling by.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what are we expecting tonight when it comes from what's happening tonight inside?
We are raising money for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra for the education programs. And so we're just having a good time. There's some fun, great live auction items. There's some silent auction items. Trips, wine, theater packages, music packages.
Count me in.
Yes, there's lots of good stuff to have. And then there's great food, great, drinks and fellowship with local Kansas City jazz stars. And yeah, so just a good time.
How did you get involved with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra?
Well, like I said, I've been singing jazz in Kansas City, and I got invited several years ago by Clint to perform, and so it's just been a really great relationship ever since. And I wear a couple hats, and so as a planner, Alyssa, the executive director, I did her wedding, and so she asked me if I would help her plan the event this year. So
Awesome.
yeah.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
I love the jewelry.
Thank you so much.
Love the dress. Is there anything else you want to say before you?
I'm wearing Giovanni from the Gown Gallery.
Oh, this is another gown gallery dress. We love the gown. Get twirl, yes. Ebony, get it, girl. There she goes.
Gotta shout out my girl Sharon Miller at the Gown Gallery.
Shout out to
Dressing
her.
ladies, making us look great.
Absolutely.
So,
Ebony,
yeah.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
stopping
for
by on the
having
red
me.
carpet. Enjoy tonight. All right, all right, all right. Is this Brian and Kim? Brian and Kim. Brian and Kim, you guys look very dapper.
Thank you.
You are truly, like the what's
Glamour of old Hollywood.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me how did you decide to wear this?
Well, there was a lot of Googling and soul searching about what is really truly the glamour of old Hollywood look that I'm going for, and I always have to do black. And so I was like, all right, black fringe, here we go. Yeah.
Fringe. I was like, is that tassel? What do I call that? Fringe. That is right on theme. So, guys, what are you expecting tonight, and what are you hopeful for?
Well, I mean, we're a performing arts organization in Kansas City. And if you know anything about the history of Kansas City Jazz, this great city deserves a performing arts organization like the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. So our gala has got to raise as much money as humanly possible. So that's what we're hoping for.
Let's do it. Let's
That's-
raise those
absolutely.
funds.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Raising money. That is why we are all here tonight.
Yep.
There's nothing more quintessentially Kansas City than jazz. And the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra does it better than anybody here in Kansas City. And it's so cool. We've got a big band right here. Woo! Brenna Whitaker is singing with us. She's from here in Kansas City. She is a phenomenal singer. It's like she's a modern day Peggy Lee. I cannot wait to see her performance.
Right.
If you can't come tonight, if you're not here tonight, come tomorrow night.
Come tomorrow. Tomorrow's the concert.
Tomorrow is the concert, and
We'll
it's gonna
still
be
get
even
music
more-
tonight.
More music
100%.
tomorrow with Brenna. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, snatch them up. I'll see you there.
Okay, so when you're home and you're listening to jazz on your own in your downtime, who are you listening to?
Well, I listen to a lot of jazz. I like
Tell them
more
your
than
favorite album.
more than most humans. But my favorite album of all time is Frank Sinatra Live at the Sands, 1965, with the Count Basie Orchestra, which started in Kansas City.
Ah, I love that. That's such a great answer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what about you, Kim?
So my favorite jazz album is Nancy Wilson and Cannonball Adderley.
Okay.
I could just all day long, all day long. And Clint Ashlock from the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, our creative director, introduced me to that album. And oh my God, my life, like it was years ago, and my life has never been the same.
Never been the same.
Never been the same.
Absolutely.
And what does Kansas City jazz mean to you guys?
Well, it's history, and I'm a lover of history, but I also love the music. But Kansas City jazz was, you probably heard it 1,000 times. Back in those days when Tom Pendergast was running the city, it was wide open, so bars didn't close. We didn't really have a depression in Kansas City, and musicians flocked here because they could not only get paid to play, but then they could go and jam, and that's where the sound came. And that sound was the swinging sound, and that swing music came out of Kansas City. So
Interesting.
That's what I think about.
Yeah, let's dive into a little bit of the history.
Yep.
Now, jazz, would you say was invented in New Orleans?
New Orleans. I grew up in Kansas City and went to New York and went to Chicago and places like that. And you know, Kansas City's. We had a lot of amazing musicians that made it in a variety of ways in the genre of jazz. The most famous has got to be Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
He's our favorite son in terms of because he changed music. He just did it holistically different, and people looked at him and said, all right, this guy's on a different planet. And even the best musicians in the world were, I actually had a chance a few years back when the Rolling Stones played here. Charlie Watts, who was the Rolling Stones drummer that just passed away about a year ago, he was a huge Charlie Parker fan, and I spent 3 hours with him walking through the American Jazz Museum.
Wow.
And he knew, and he stayed for another 3.
Oh my gosh.
And he knew more about Charlie Parker than anybody I ever met.
That's incredible. What a story.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that, Kim?
Well, listen, I am a far less academic approach to Kansas City jazz and what jazz means to me. I think jazz is one of those things that when I hear it, it is like
you feel it
straight to my stomach.
100%.
And it's like freezes you and you stop and you just get taken away to somewhere else. And I think it's magic. Jazz is magic, and that's what I love about it. And it's just phenomenal. But yeah, they say New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz and Kansas City is the home of jazz.
Gotcha. Okay, we got to remember that. Yeah. We need to remember. I love how you said that jazz grew up
In Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Remember that, Kansas City.
And you know what? Here's another fun fact. This is 12th.
Fun facts,
This is 12th Street.
Yeah.
So in the 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up, even when this place was a burlesque, there were bars lined all the way down. And the most famous jazz club in history is the Reno Club. It was about 10th or about 12th and Cherry, right down the road. Okay,
Gotcha.
Right next to the police station.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
And Count Basie was the house band. And
Imagine.
his most famous song, among many of them, is called the 1 O'Clock Jump. And he invented it, and he called it 1 O'Clock Jump because he looked at the clock, and it was close to 1 o'clock, and he was at the Reno Club, and he was playing this ditty, and that's how it came about.
We got a history lesson tonight here at the Folly Theater. We'll get music soon after.
100%.
But thank you so much, both of you, coming and joining me on the red carpet. And you guys have a fabulous, magical night tonight.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right. Another amazing interview. That was awesome.
We're running a little long.
Okay.
Just kind of make them a little faster.
Okay. All right.
This is Miss Katie Van Lucian.
Katie Van Lucian, welcome.
Thank you.
You're pretty iconic in Kansas City. Your writing, I mean, you kind of cover a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So, how are you feeling for tonight?
When you look at what everyone is wearing, you know, when you're invited to dress up old world Hollywood, these people are bringing it. We've got vintage furs, we've got sparkles. It's lovely to see. The men are in tuxedos. It's a great time.
What excites you most about this evening?
Again, it's the music. We're going to hear some fantastic music. Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. They are continuing the legacy of our jazz town.
Yeah.
And again, seeing what everyone's wearing.
What do you think? So, what does Kansas City Jazz mean to you?
It is from the 20s to today. You know, it comes full circle. I just saw you interview Oleta Adams. I first heard jazz when she was performing many, many years ago when I was young and single and broke.
Oh
and
my
I would
gosh.
sit through all of her sessions. She was performing. She was brilliant. She still is. So,
Yeah.
and then you've got someone else that you interviewed, Ebony, who is now taking it to the younger generation. She's going to Paris.
Oh my
for
gosh.
Kansas City Jazz.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You look amazing tonight. I hope you have a. Can I touch this? Can I?
Yes, this is my talk about glamour. This is from my late Aunt Dot, who represented glamour to me. So this is one of her furs that I inherited.
Well, you are totally on theme tonight. So great meeting you and seeing you. I hope you have a wonderful time tonight filled with magic and music and great cocktails.
Thanks.
She looked incredible. I loved what she was wearing. The glamour of old Hollywood is truly in full effect this evening. And for everybody to really talk about the essence of Kansas City jazz is just phenomenal. And we have another red carpet guest this evening.
Let me set some of these things down.
Are
if you
you
don't mind.
are you Deborah?
No, I'm Amber.
Amber, welcome.
Hi. Should we
Amber
put the glasses on or no?
Amber Underwood.
Yes.
Fluty nastiness.
Fluty nastiness. Yes. Hi.
Fluty, tell me about that name.
So Fluty nastiness came about during a rehearsal and trying to make my lane kind of in the, in the scene and stuff. And I was practicing something and my accompanist was like, "Oh my God, this is so nasty." And I was like, "It's fluty nastiness."
Oh my God.
And that's how it came about, and it kind of stuck, and it was like ding, 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 ding. And it's kind of like the lay of the land, and
Sure.
everything I do is kind of like, how you carry yourself, how, stage presence is all about the,
Right.
the nastiness.
The nastiness.
Yes, girl. Yes.
The
Yes.
The
And you have to say fluty nastiness. It has to have
Fluty
that
nastiness.
nastiness.
I-
Yeah.
I
It has to
love
have
it.
that stank on it. Yes.
So when it comes to the theme tonight, what is the Oh, hello. Hi.
Hey.
We got friends of yours.
Yes, the Chris Hazelton.
Oh, fun. Also fun tonight is the theme, Old Hollywood.
No, I love the theme. I love a time where we can get dressed up and come together as a community and be dressed to the nines. It reminds me of like the Renaissance Harlem back during that day, glamour, because nowadays, it's all about athletic leisure
Yes.
clothing.
Yes.
And so it's always nice to kind of get dressed up and
Sure.
and smooze a little bit.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? Put on a nice dress.
Yes.
And, it's practice for other red carpets as well.
Absolutely. Well, you look great.
Thank you so much.
Before you go, tell me a little bit of what Kansas City jazz means to you.
Oh my gosh. It means everything because I grew up here in Kansas City and it's kind of like a melting pot
Yes.
of everything. And so when you tell the story of jazz, you have to tell the story about Kansas City.
Yes.
So we like to say that jazz was born and raised in New Orleans, but raised here in Kansas City.
Yes.
And
I
so-
just heard that.
Yeah, so if you speak to a lot of musicians, especially jazz musicians, they're going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But everything here in Kansas City, I feel like all of our musicians, all of our artists can compete with any artist around the world.
Right.
So this is not only my hometown, but it's my playground, and it keeps me on top of my things to when I go national, or when I travel nationally or internationally.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Amber Underwood, aka Flutie Nastiness.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember that name.
Yes, please. Thank
We
you so much.
have a great time inside.
Thank you.
Enjoy the music and have a cocktail for me.
Of course I will.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Awesome. All right. These interviews are going fantastic. I love meeting everybody. So nice. The second person tonight that said that jazz was born in New Orleans and raised in Kansas City. So that is something I will take with me forever from here on out. And we have our next guest. Who do we have here?
My name is Paula Saunders.
Paula, come on in. Are you Sean?
No.
Are you Seiko?
No. You want to run down the list?
Yeah, you should keep going.
Brett Jackson.
Okay, are you guys doing the interview together tonight?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, come on in. Come
All
on
right,
in.
all
Okay.
right.
All right. Let's go. We'll go side
Should we
to side.
which side should I be on? Oh, gotta get the dress.
All right, we'll be on the flanks.
There we go.
All right. Let me find your card.
Okay. Ooh, now I can sneak and look at what you're gonna ask. Also, love your shoes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Those are good shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of my shoes, though?
Oh, those are pretty stunning. Yes.
Okay.
Very stunning.
You said Paula?
Yes.
Okay. Paula and Brett, thank you so much for joining us here on the red carpet. You look glamorous, girl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is from the Gown Gallery.
Gown Gallery all night.
Go see Sharon at the Gown Gallery for all of your gown needs.
Sharon is the girl. We've been hearing her name all night.
Amazing. Yes, this is Tarani Couture.
Tarani Couture.
Yes.
So what excites you about tonight's gala?
Oh my gosh, everything. Seeing everybody all dressed up. It's a beautiful night in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Hearing the music. Miss Olita Adams was in there. She is a Kansas City legend.
Yes.
So this is going to be an incredible evening.
She was so kind. I talked to her and she gave me like all the buzz on everything.
Wonderful. She's absolutely wonderful. She's a gem.
Brett, what are you excited for tonight?
I always look forward to hearing the band. I've kind of gotten a chance to play with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra on a few occasions, and just the camaraderie in the band that always keeps bringing me back. So I'm really looking forward to the performance. So
Now, I've been kind of asking everybody this question, and it's really about what does Kansas City Jazz mean to you?
Yeah. So actually, Kansas City Jazz is in my blood. My great uncle Ellis Bartee was a drummer here in Kansas City.
Wow.
He played for Lionel Hampton and with Jay McShann. And so literally jazz history is in my lineage. So everything about it excites me because it's part of who I am.
So is he a big reason why you got into music and fell in love with it?
He's part of it, and then my whole family, we're all very much about music. And so it's always been around me since I was 2 years old.
Sure.
This was what I was born to do.
Okay, I believe that. Yeah. I truly believe that. And what about you? What does Kansas City Jazz mean to you?
I think a lot of it is about the companionship that you get when playing with other musicians, and I think when Kansas City had its heyday, wide open town in the 20s, all these musicians flocked to this town. They learned from each other. It wasn't like the combative atmospheres that you might find in other places.
Sure.
These guys hung together. They played together all the time in these big bands, and just that networking and I don't know, just the affection that all the musicians have for each other. That's a big part of the community for sure.
How did you fall in love with music?
I heard the Count Basie Orchestra in person in 1999.
Oh my gosh.
And it was one of the greatest moments of my life. I still have my ticket, A1. I sat front row center. I was there with 4 of my friends, and I feel like we all kind of just caught the bug together at that time. It was just so exciting. The music was so joyful.
Yes.
I fell in love with it for sure.
Well, I'm sure you're going to fall in love with the music tonight. It's going to be great. We have wonderful performers. We have great cocktails and just, again, the beauty of Old Hollywood. So thank you so much for stopping by on the red carpet.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoy this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. All right. Paula looked beautiful.
No swear words.
Who do we have next? They are chatting.
Brett Jackson. April May's good friend.
Who do we have here?
David.
David.
Bassey. B-A-S-S-E. Hi. And you?
I'm Adriana.
Hi, Adriana.
They didn't tell me everybody who was coming on the red carpet, so
didn't?
sometimes I, just gotta wing it.
Are you recording? Or?
We're streaming live.
Right there?
Yes, on YouTube. Say hello, Kansas City. Okay, so tell me, what are you excited most for this evening?
What am I excited most for this evening? So far the bacon wrapped figs have been really good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really cool to see the costumes, all the dresses and the beautiful people. And Olita Adams is here. Oh my God.
No, I spoke with her.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
She's
it's
wonderful.
just like one exciting little tidbit after another.
Absolutely.
Yes, I like that.
Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
David Bassey, B-A-S-S-E.
Are you with the band, or are you with
I have sang with the orchestra. I've toured Europe with the orchestra. I sing and play drums.
You are a Kansas City musician.
And a radio host.
I love it.
And just this and that.
He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to be chatting with you.
I'm excited to be chatting with you.
I'm sure you are a lover of jazz. When did you?
Jazz is my life.
That's it. We need to start with that.
jazz.
When did it become your life?
I took a drum lesson when I was 11. And when I came out of the drum lesson, my mother said, "Well, how was it?" And I said, "I found my career." And so I started playing like every day. And then by the time I was 14, I got in a band.
Gotcha.
And so I was a professional musician. I made money to play music. And all through high school, if I wasn't marching in a band, playing the drum, or concert band, or the basketball game, I was playing at a bar with people who were in their 30s. And so it was cool. And when I was 17, I moved, I took off on the road, toured around.
Yeah.
And then came to Kansas City when I was 19.
Wow.
And it's been my home most of my life.
Yeah.
I spent a decade in Los Angeles in between, in the
Me
90s.
too.
You did?
Yes, but in the 2000s.
Are you a musician?
No.
No.
I'm a host.
Yeah, you're a host.
Yes.
Yes.
So I was still like entertainment stuff and did college
You an
out there.
actress?
I'm
not supposed to interview you.
I did TV. Okay. I was reporter, anchor, host, and now I do social media and gigs like this.
And this is your thing. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And what a spot, the Folly Theater, and what an exciting night for music.
This is an exciting night, and
my
it's going to be
gosh.
great. We have amazing artists performing. There's great food in there, like your bacon wrapped figs, cocktails. So please enjoy your night.
Thank you
It's
very
going to be
much.
magical. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
very
stopping
much.
by.
This is my favorite theater, too.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. All right, Kansas City, my YouTube, KC Lifestyle Girl. We are live streaming here at the Folly Theater for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra's Glamour of Old Hollywood. We do have some more guests coming by, and hopefully I have them on these cards. But it's always great for surprises. You never know who's going to come unexpectedly. So we've had a few unexpected guests, but they have been truly amazing. So happy to meet them and chat with them and get to know them. It's really awesome to get to know people in the jazz community and who really make the jazz community in Kansas City work. And I know we have a couple of guests coming on the red carpet before the whole gala starts. So hopefully we'll get a few more soon. Until then, if you're watching this from home, please, if you haven't grabbed a drink, a cocktail yet, this is the time to go grab one, go to the restroom, and then come back really fast because we still have more interviews coming soon.
We're going to the Lion King.
Oh, you want everybody you know. I know. Everybody's like, what do you think? You know, no.
You're always wonderful.
see Paula. Paula! Martrice! Love you guys, enjoy.
Thank you. See you later.
Oh, here she comes. Oh, you're done, boo-boo.
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, we've concluded our interviews. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to meet the guests of the evening here at the Folly Theater for the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra's Glamour of Old Hollywood Gala this evening. Everybody looked wonderful. We learned a lot about jazz, and we learned a lot about the community. So I'm so excited to see, the funds being raised tonight and how much they come out with to really improve the livelihood of jazz education here in Kansas City. So that's it for tonight. That's a wrap. I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to follow Casey Lifestyle Girl on all social media. Take care.
See you guys. See you later.